so cold for so long now. I don't remember what the sun feels like. We're getting old inside this house. I don't remember what the breeze feels like. We've gotta go, we gotta get back. Gotta get our feet back on the ground. We've gotta go, we gotta get back. Gotta get the spring back in our step again. Oh, it's like waking up again. So don't let go. Open up your eyes again. When you're gone, you're so far gone. You don't remember what you want in life. I'll take your hand, I'll give you faith. I'll never let you go, I'm on your side. But we've gotta go, we gotta get back. Gotta get our feet back on the ground. We've gotta go, we gotta get back. Gotta get the spring back in our step again. And it's like, oh, it's like waking up again. So don't let go. Open up your eyes again. And it's like, oh, it's like waking up again. would hang out someday. But I don't wanna bother you unless you're free. I don't wanna bother you. Sit so high until I see ya, confident that you're my weakness. Oh, I'm always overthinking me and you. Ever tried to impress you? Heart beats faster when I text you. How I'm always overthinking me and you. I showed up late to my neighbor's party, worked my way around a crowd I hardly knew. Then I saw you walking through that doorway. I only came because I knew you'd be here too. I don't wanna bother you. Sit so high until I see ya, confident that you're my weakness. Oh, I'm always overthinking me and you. Ever trying to impress you? Heart beats faster when I text you. How I'm always overthinking me and you. Even though you stand there, honey, acting like you don't know nothing at all, I can see the way